We had, it was like 61% of our production use is generated by solar.
Chris Stamp of Lakewood Vineyards in New York's Finger Lakes area says his winery was ahead of the curve when they installed a 47-kilowatt solar energy system 4 years ago. You may not notice them at first, but those panels marked a change in the region.
We produced 54,398 kilowatt hours last year.
Solar energy is an investment, and more businesses are starting to see it that way. But going green comes with its share of challenges. Solar power requires a long-term commitment before you start seeing savings.
When our peak usage is going on, we're using all of that electricity we're producing. If things are a little slower and we're not using as much electricity, like I'm not refrigerating things, then a lot more of it's going back on the grid. Does it make a huge difference in the bill? It helps.
And this is our small one. We got a much bigger room back here.
Stamp thinks it'll take somewhere between 9 and 12 years before the solar panels start to pay for themselves. It was a grant from New York State Energy Research and Development Authority and a 30% federal tax credit that helped the company front the initial cost of the more than 140 panels.
That's certified organic produce that my brother and his wife do. And then if you look up that way, you can see the tasting room and the winery building.
About 30 miles northwest, at Hunt Country Vineyards in Branchport, New York, solar panels spread across the roof of a number of buildings on the property. Today, more residents and businesses in the Finger Lakes region are finding that it's well worth it to go green. Suzanne Hunt is part of the 7 generations of family members who have worked at the farm. She also heads an advisory firm that's on a mission to help other businesses that also want in on helping the environment.
Switching off of dependency on fossil fuels helps us become part of a solution.
According to Finger Lakes Wine Country Tourism Marketing Association, the region is home to just over 100 of the more than 400 wineries in New York State. And with more ways to pay, such as bank loans and leases, Hunt says more than 15% of Finger Lakes wineries have chosen to take on the debt to make a difference.
In 10 or 15 years, they'll have to replace the inverters, but you factor that in and you plan for that, and you basically have a pretty minimal electric bill.
Governor Andrew Cuomo has long pushed for New Yorkers to be mindful of the way they consume energy. The state is committed to reaching an ambitious goal: 50% of its energy coming from renewable sources by the year 2030. Various solar projects are underway in local communities across the state. Jim Treesize, president of the New York Wine and Grape Foundation, says the numbers will multiply faster than we can expect.
I think that the technology and the realization that you can do solar in New York. I mean, we used to think of Arizona as solar, not New York. It's success-driven, meaning that one winery will see another winery that's adopted it and then learn about it and say, oh yeah, I know number one, I'm doing good and I can save money over the long haul.
Aside from running into the occasional unethical installer who might provide panels of bad quality, Hunt says the challenges she has seen are minimal. She wants more people to join the movement and hopes to dispel some of the myths about solar power. Meanwhile, Stamp says he never bought into the myths. The decision to go solar was purely an ecological one. And if he has his way, workers will install more panels once Lakewood's expansion is complete this summer.
We don't do everything to make money here. Some things we do just because they feel right, you know.
For the Innovation Trail, I'm Sasha-Ann Simons.